01250. You're a first-class offender. Parole eligibility date 10/27/2020. Not eligible for good time. Full term date 2/27/2024. Indecent behavior with a juvenile. Failure to register a sex offender. Revoked on 4/25/2019. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Please answer Ms. Pearl Wise.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How's it going?
It's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of get right. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. It's been a long day, but we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. It was important. It was important that we got to see you. In looking at your record, this is concerning to me. You got sentenced on February 11th of 19, and you got revoked April the 25th of 19.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not good. And one of the reasons was that you didn't make your monetary obligations and you failed to register. And then in further reading in your application, you said that you have been working for the same company since 2003, and you wanted to get out so that you could support your family and all of that. So what was the reason of you failing to register?
Well, my rig was stacked at the time. I worked in the oil field, and my rig was stacked at the time, and I was getting the money together. I just didn't get it to them in time.
Okay, so during that time so this 2003 has not been consistent work.
No, well, it's oil field work, but I've been working with that company, you know.
Right, but what I'm asking though is there are periods of time when you don't work? Tell me about it.
Well, no, it just slows down some. Whenever we work at the yard, we don't make as much. You know.
Okay, but so you're telling me that you always worked. You were never a time when you were laid off or not working.
No, ma'am. I had to go to other jobs, so you know, while the rig was stacked, if they didn't have no work, you know, I had to do other jobs, but I always had another job lined up.
Okay. So you just didn't get the money in time to get registered, and that's why your supervision got revoked.
Yes, ma'am. I had my money orders and everything, but I was working. I had my money orders made out and all of my stuff together. I was working, and I was only off on the weekends. And I didn't get it to the sheriff's department in time.
Okay, so if you're successful today, what's gonna be different?
I'm gonna make sure and get it there on time. I'm gonna take care of everything. Yes, ma'am. I didn't understand that I only had 21 days at the time. You know, that part I didn't understand. I didn't catch it. But I had everything ready. I just needed to get up there.
Okay, so you did. They gave you a copy of your contract, didn't you? Sex offender contract.
Yes, ma'am.
So you realize the importance of that now.
Yes, ma'am. Very much.
Good.
Very
good.
So.
Because it's going to be a lifetime.
Yes, ma'am.
It might not be a lifetime, but a long time. I want to inform you, as a part of this process, about getting out early. We ask the victim and we ask the law enforcement community to get their opinions about early release. And there's been a lot of opposition expressed. There's nothing you can do about it, but I do want to inform you, of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had the sex offender treatment program since you've been in jail?
I'm taking it right now. They just moved me to BDCC. I'm taking the class now. I'm in the first phase.
Okay, you're in the first phase. When you think you'll be finished?
They said February 25th.
Of 2021, 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
2022. Do you think you need it? That's okay. That's okay. If you don't think so, you don't think so.
Yeah, but I mean, they do have some things, that I don't mind taking it, because I fell on this charge, so.
All right. Thank you for answering my questions. That's all I had.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Marabella. You're on mute.
Mr. Frugier, what sort of sex offender treatment have you had?
This class right here that I'm in now.
Other than that?
No, none.
When you pled guilty back in, when did you plead guilty to the charge of indecent behavior?
February of 19.
Okay. Did you go to prison at all then? Were you out on bond when you pled guilty?
I had 5 years suspended, 3 years on probation.
Okay. So was condition of your probation that you take any sort of sex offender treatment?
Yes, sir. I had to start taking the classes. I was waiting for them to come up. I was going to take them at the parole office in Lafayette.
So you didn't do your classes either?
I didn't even, they hadn't started up by the time, it was only 21 days before I got arrested, or a few days.
When was the crime committed?
They said, first time I got arrested was in 18, at the beginning of 18.
You didn't do any kind of treatment between then and the time you got you pled guilty?
No, sir.
Tell me why you believe that the law requires you to take sex offender treatment.
Because I was convicted of it.
Well, I understand. What do you think it does for you? What do you think the idea, what do you think the object of your doing that does for you?
I guess it changed the way you think about a lot of things, you know.
Do you understand the significance of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you know why you have to register as a sex offender?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
Because you live in a community, you know, and you've been convicted of a sex crime.
And do you realize how important that is?
Yes, sir.
And it may very well have been the only reason you didn't register is you couldn't afford the $500 or whatever that fee is, okay?
Yes, sir.
But from now on, you understand if you don't do it, what happens?
Yes, sir. Go to jail. Yes, sir. I understand.
Now, where do you plan on going back to work if you're released?
Well, I can go. My little sister's working on a job right now in Lafayette, in Hackberry at a plant. She can give me a job. I got that job that I wrote to y'all about with E-Short operating. They'll hire me back.
Where are you going to be living at?
I'll be living in Jennings, Louisiana.
Where? With
At
who?
my grandma's house.
Are you required to make notifications of where you live?
Yes, sir.
You know, that's also very, very important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is this a house where you intend on being there for a while? You can't
Yes,
be
sir.
moving around.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. I understand that. Yeah, I'm going to be there for a while because, see, my grandma and grandpa, they're getting old and they need some help, you know, so, you know, they really want me to come, you know, stay with them for a while.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
You know, this is the first time I've ever been to jail. You know, I never really did no time or anything like that, and I really understand it. You know, it really, you know, I gotta take care of my business and do and abide by the law. You know, I know that. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Pam, prepared to vote?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pearl Wise?
Sir, I hear you, and I just hear you. I want you to know I hear you. I'm just not willing to take a chance on you today. My vote is to deny because of your poor supervision history, law enforcement and victim opposition. I'd like to see you complete the sex offender treatment that you're in February of next year, and you have a moderate tiger. So right back after you finish that sex offender treatment and ask for a rehearing, and you'll probably have time. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Mirabella?
Mr. Frugier, I've listened to you very intently, and I think that you're on the right track. I think you're a decent fella. I think you're trying to do the right thing. I think you need to know some more information about what your crime is and what your responsibilities and your obligations are. And you will get that in the sex offender class that you're currently taking. So I hope that you complete that program successfully. My vote today, however, is to deny, but I hope that you're able to complete that program, and probably the next time you come up, if I'm still on this board, I would grant your parole, but today I would vote to deny it.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so you have two votes to deny. I'm also going to vote to deny. You have a moderate Tiger score. You need to continue your sex offender treatment, law enforcement, and victim opposition. But keep working hard, and you're doing the right thing. 3 votes to deny. Your parole's been denied. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sadly, I don't have information on this case to share with you, but also what I picked out from it, one is there is victim opposition that was mentioned. 2 is that he had the minimum sentence of 5 years because his full term date is 2024. He was convicted in 2019 and in February and revoked April 20th of 2019. So what does that mean? That means that he was convicted, given a 5 years suspended sentence. He wasn't even required to spend a day in prison. And we don't know what the full conviction was, but what we do know is that we cannot downplay it. We cannot assume that, the DA and the judge, it probably wasn't, it's probably very iffy. It was probably, she was about to turn 18, or it was, we can't assume that. We can't assume whatever it is that you might want to assume, because we know from experience that the system does not make sense. We know that he was given the minimum 5-year sentence, and it was going to be probated, and he revoked it. He didn't even understand what gift he was given. He took 2 months for him to revoke it, and all it had to do was to pay the fees, which he said he couldn't figure out. He's 40 years old. What are you saying? It's unreal. He's still locked up. Still locked up. This hearing took place in 2021, and he's still there, which is a good thing. But it's that's just, it's just scary to see how broken the system is. You have law enforcement that goes and catches him. You then some DA, some judge just releases him right back out. Law enforcement does their job, rearrest him for not paying his fees. He's now locked up. He then gets a hearing, and the victim, we have a statement that the victim is opposed. And it blows my mind. But I think that, again, this is the importance of showing a hearing like this, and how our system is so broken. We don't have the records on how old his victim was, but it's he did this to a juvenile. That means he altered the course of someone's life, and he was given a probated sentence. The only reason he has a moderate risk score, and thank you, Greg sent me a whole handbook of how to calculate this. Thank you, Greg. So it's because he was revoked. So as soon as you're revoked, it goes in the algorithm that gives you a higher risk score. But otherwise, he would be a low risk score as far as the algorithm was concerned if he wasn't revoked. But there you have it. This is the justice system. This is what they do to protect our children. And with that, I'll let you go.